Startling comments coming in from the president's son Abhijit Mukherjee on the Delhi gang rape fallout and the protest that happened thereafter. The Congress MLA has said that, and I quote, "I would term the protests in Delhi as what is popularly known as Pink Revolution. It is becoming fashionable to land up on the streets with candles in hand. Such people are completely disconnected from reality. They go to discotheques and very well versed with student activism and can bet on it that most of the protesters are not students. They are dented and painted women chasing 2 minutes of fame, giving interviews on television channels. The protesters do not fall in the age group of students." The obviously sexist remark by the president's son has led to outrage. His remark reeks of a sexist, patronizing attitude towards women. Not only is Abhijit Mukherjee out of sync with the public mood, he has also trivialized the movement with his shocking remarks. Arjun Chatterjee, our correspondent, is now joining us on the phone line from Kolkata. Arjun, this whole statement seems to be an effort to discredit the protest that happened in Delhi. Arjun, are you there with us? All right, so what we're getting for you right now is a shocking statement that's come from the president's son, Abhijit Mukherjee. And let me quote what he has said. "I would term the protests in Delhi as what is popularly known as Pink Revolution. It is becoming fashionable to land up on the streets with candles in hand. Such people are completely disconnected from reality. They go to discotheques. I'm very well versed with student activism. I can bet on that most of the protesters were not students, and they are dented and painted women chasing 2 minutes of fame, giving interviews on television channels. The protesters do not fall in the age group of students." Well, the obviously sexist remark by the president's son has led to outrage already. His remarks reek of sexist, patronizing attitude towards women. Not only is Abhijit Mukherjee out of sync with public mood, he's also trying to trivialize the movement with the shocking statement that he's made. So these startling comments coming in from the president's son, Abhijit Mukherjee, on the fallout of the gang rape, the protest that happened in Delhi. He's trivializing that whole protest by saying that they were carried out by dented, painted women who go to discotheques. And he's saying that it's fashionable for them who are out of sync with what the people really feel by landing up at these protests and giving sound bites to television cameras. Now, clearly, this remark by Abhijit Mukherjee is creating furor already. There's outrage because this remark is clearly being seen as a sexist remark. More than that, it is also being seen in the light of the fact that the whole protest in Delhi, in which there were some very well-meaning people who had come out to protest and demand a safer Delhi, that whole protest being discredited while Abhijit Mukherjee talks about the women who were there, who were just at the location for 2 minutes of fame. Abhijit Mukherjee's startling comments coming in about the protests that were held in Delhi in the aftermath of the Delhi gang rape case. The Congress MLA has said, and I quote, "I would term the protest in Delhi as what is popularly known as Pink Revolution. It is becoming fashionable to land up on the streets and with candles in hand. Such people are completely disconnected from reality." Nilanjana, social activist, now joins us on that story. Nilanjana, absolutely sexist remark there coming from Abhijit Mukherjee. How would you react to it, first of all?
See, there are two things to this. There are two aspects to this. First thing is that, the protesters, since they did not have any color, creed, religion, caste, whatever category you want to give. So, they did not have any identity. So, anybody or everybody, even VIPs, politicians or anyone has the freedom to pass any comment on them. Second thing is, definitely the protesters were genuine, because had they not been genuine, then such an uproar or such an uprising kind of a situation would not have arisen. So I don't want to really get into that kind of a thing, because that is absolutely that would be very incorrect on my part to even criticize that. third thing is, I just wish that Mr. Mukherjee could have refrained from such extreme remarks, because what he is depicting is actually one side of the society. And what has happened is a completely different, it's a totally different dimension altogether. So it's basically comparing horses with donkeys kind of a situation. So I don't think that's a very, very correct remark to, or a correct comment to make on this situation, especially at this juncture. Because here we have this girl who's been flown off to Singapore for further treatment. So so this is the reason is because the situation is a very, very serious one and a fragile one as well. So because there was this uprising and because of this protest which were led all through these the entire week, that the situation, the government has been forced to take a very serious look on this whole issue, so much so that the Prime Minister addresses the nation on an issue like this. So I just feel that people should refrain from making these kind of remarks, because as a common citizen of India, unfortunately what he has said is there are walks which are organized, there are walks which are for candle, there are candlelight vigils and all that, but the purpose is totally different in this case. So I don't see this remark could have actually been easily avoided. And as I said, unfortunately in our society right now, there are a lot of all kinds of things are happening, good, bad and ugly. So I just feel this could have been easily avoided.
Nilanjana, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. We also have with us on the phone line Kiran Bedi. Ms. Bedi, do you see this remark as an attempt to discredit the whole protest that was carried out in Delhi?
I think he will get to regret what he said. He will one day regret what he said, because obviously he does not know the emergence of a whole new generation of young leadership. Committed young leadership, responsible leadership, both young men and women. I have no doubt that he will get to regret what he said.
Ms. Bedi, also this remark reeks of a sexist attitude really, with him saying that there were dented and painted women chasing 2 minutes of fame, giving interviews on television channels. How would you react to that sort of an attitude?
Unfortunately, they claim to be representing people, but in real terms, they're far away from reality, which is why these things are happening. Which is why these things are happening, and they're not realizing how much of faith and trust and respect, genuine respect for such politicians has been lost.
Also, Kiran Bedi, he also goes on to say that these are women who go to discotheques. Now, how does he connect the two really over here? Are people who go to discotheques not allowed to protest for something that they strongly feel?
This is exactly the feudal attitude which is the cause of crimes against women. These are the conservative, closed minds, feudal, closed minds, outdated. These are truly outdated minds which are causing the crimes against women. Unfortunately, regrettably, they get elected also.
Ma'am, do you think that he should apologize for the statement that he's made?
Yes, he will have no choice. He will have no choice. He will get to regret what he said. Unfortunately, he's the son of the first person of this country. Unfortunately, I think he will get to regret. I'm sure his sisters will go back to him to ask him to regret, because his sisters would also be realizing the mistake their brother has committed.
Kiran Bedi, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. So clearly outrage already over the statements made by Abhijit Mukherjee, the president's son, about the protests that were held in Delhi. In fact, on the one hand, while the president has been expressing concern about the situation in Delhi, especially for the safety of women, his son has come out and made this rather sexist statement, saying that, and I quote him here, "I would term the protests in Delhi as what is popularly known as Pink Revolution. It is becoming fashionable to land up on streets with candles in hand. Such people are completely disconnected from reality." Kavita Krishnan, social activist, is now with us on the phone line. Ms. Krishnan, how would you first of all react to the statement of Abhijit Mukherjee?
I find it the most appalling sexism and arrogance on part, and this reflects the entire attitude of the government, okay? Because it's not just that he's insulting the protesters, it shows who is cut off from reality, and it also shows what they think about women. because they're saying, he's again entering the mode of lecturing how women ought to look. Who is he to give a certificate about who is dented, painted, who should be what, who should dress how women should dress? Who is he to say? Why should the government lecture us on this? Why should political parties lecture women on this? And I think it shows the most appalling insensitivity.
All right, ma'am, many thanks for speaking with us. We have with us left leader Brinda Karat. Ma'am, how do you react to this rather sexist statement made by Abhijit Mukherjee about the protests in Delhi?
Well, I must say that's a very polite way of putting it. It is an outrageous comment. He has to make a public apology. And I also believe that we must have some code of conduct for the statements, public statements made by members of parliament, elected representatives, who demean women in this way. I mean, first of all, to call that spontaneous challenge to stereotypical notions done by a particular type of woman, and who is he to describe women in the way that he has done? It is highly objectionable, and he must apologize, and I believe this gives the opportunity for a public demand for a code of conduct for elected representatives. And I think the Election Commission should also come into this.
Ma'am, apart from this comment being very sexist, is it also an attempt being made to discredit the protest that we saw in Delhi?
Which is absolutely highly objectionable. This is exactly what the Delhi police have been trying to do in different ways. And now you have a member of parliament, and that also in a state like Bengal, where there will be revulsion against his statements. I can tell you that. His constituents are going to strongly protest against, as are other people in Bengal. After all, he is representing that state. And it is reprehensible, and my point is that since such political leaders have absolutely no compunction about making such comments which are degrading and demeaning to women, there must be some code of conduct which permits action against such statements, because after all it does demean women.
Brinda Karat, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. We now have with us on the phone line Shaina NC, BJP leader. Ma'am, what would you say about this statement? Would you expect an apology instantly from Abhijit Mukherjee?
I think absolutely, to say the least. How can he make such a shocking statement which not only projects women as they're like some sainted protesters who are doing it for a certain kind of publicity? I think it's absolutely shocking. And this is when we talk about the mindset of the male mentality. This is also one particular kind of mindset where you feel that just because you are a member of parliament, that you can get away by saying anything, and that protesters seem to be doing it for their 2-minute moment of glory when they have been consistently agitating for over a week now. I think that trivializing the gang rape and protesting in this kind of a way is the right of every single democracy. And the outrage over his sexist remark is something that he should apologize for immediately. He is not only representing the state of Bengal, but as a responsible member of parliament to make such a disgusting comment, I think really requires more than a public apology. It requires a repeated apology. And he will only regret when the youth generation kind of vote him out, so he realizes the gravity of this statement.
Ma'am, do you think that this statement coming from his is even more shocking because he's a responsible member of parliament? He's also the son of the president.
It's true. I mean, he's the son of a president, and to say that, you know, what is this popularly known as pink revolution? How high-handed is this statement? And to say that it's become fashionable for people to land up on the streets with candles in their hands and they're disconnected from reality. This is not just an insensitive statement, but I think it's highly irresponsible to kind of picture women, and this is that same male mindset that I'm talking about, to say that, you know, these girls go to discotheques,
This is the same insensitivity which is shown by the police force when it comes to the youth in our country, when it comes to young females in our country, and this is the same irresponsible, shocking statement by the son of the President of India. I think he not just needs to make a public apology at the earliest, he needs to personally go and visit all these youth who have been advocating and protesting for days and days. And I think it needs to happen
Shaina, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. We also have with us BJP MP Smriti Irani on the phone line with us. Ms. Irani, is it just enough that Abhijit Mukherjee apologizes? Do you think even his party should be apologizing for him having made such a statement?
Yeah, Congress party has much more to apologize for. Congress party has to apologize for an absolute breakdown of law and order in Delhi. Congress party has to apologize for not ensuring that laws wanting to protect women are not implemented. And I think that the very fact that the President's son makes an observation, he needs to be reminded that the Constitution gives every citizen the right to protest against a government which is not living up to its expectation. Does not matter whether an Indian goes to a discotheque, does not matter whether a girl wears jeans, salwar kameez, sari. She has every right to protest, especially when women and men of Delhi see girls getting gang raped, girls getting humiliated and molested and eat on the streets of the capital every day. I think he owes an apology not only to the women who are protesting, but also citizens who came out in full force to protest against the government's apathy. And this includes even the men who took their daughters to these protests just to tell their daughters that it is all right to fight against injustice. Hence, he owes an apology not only to the girls who are protesting, but also the fathers who stood there in support of their daughters.
Smriti Irani, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. We now have with us our correspondent Ruchika Tomar, who's joining us from the newsroom. Also, Arjun Chatterjee is going to join us from Kolkata. First to you, Ruchika. You've already heard all those remarks and reactions coming in. Everybody outraged at the kind of statement that has been made by Abhijit Mukherjee.
No doubt, Maha. There's absolute revulsion and outrage over the comments that have been made by Jangipur MP, Pranab Mukherjee's son, Abhijit Mukherjee, who in fact talks about how these protesters are out of sync with the reality. And in fact, you just read out to the viewers the exact translation of that comment he has made in Bengali in his constituency, where he goes on to say that these women are dented and painted, these women go to discotheques, what do they know about protests? So clearly also the timing of it, considering the political class is getting so much flack over the manner in which they've handled this entire crisis and the double standards as far as getting justice for the rape victims and women who have faced sexual crimes are concerned. This statement is going to come back and of course make it very, very embarrassing, not just for Pranab Mukherjee's son, Abhijit Mukherjee, but also for the Congress party at large. We are waiting to hear from Trinamool Congress, who would obviously waste no time in hitting back at Abhijit Mukherjee for this very, very callous remark.
So let me go across to Arjun Chatterjee, who's joining us from Kolkata for more details. Arjun, first of all, where exactly was the statement made by Abhijit Mukherjee, and what are the kind of reactions you're getting in Bengal?
Well, the statement was made in a public forum yesterday in Birbhum when he was traveling. He's now on his way back to Kolkata. He'll be reaching Kolkata very soon in a couple of hours. And I just spoke to him a short while back, and he said the media doesn't put things in perspective. Yes, what I said is that these people do not belong to that group of students or college goers. Even I have my kids back at home, and if they go to the discotheque, I would ask them not to be part of this protest, because protesting against a just cause is something very important, and you should have your principles. So all these things, he was justifying his statement. But you know, at the end of the day, probably he did not realize, he should have realized that this is a very callous remark, and that this is not going to go well with in the political fraternity. More importantly, he told me, you know, the media is hyping it because I'm the son of the President of India, not just an individual or an elected representative. Had it been any other elected representative, they would have let him go easily. But since I'm the son of the President of India, there's a lot of media focus on me. But at the end of the day, when I asked him, why did you say this at all? Don't you respect the protesters? He said, I do, but I do not believe in each and every one of them, and I think this is a kind of a pink revolution. He justified his statement. He told me that he's going to speak to me in a couple of hours from now, but you know, there was no repentance. for sure, and probably he did not realize that how his party, the Congress party, would react, and it's giving a full toss ball to the opposition here, because the Trinamool have already started speaking about it. They have started making comments. I was speaking to a couple of senior Trinamool Congress leaders in Bengal, and they said, what else do you expect from the Congress party? Leave aside the president's son.
All right, Arjun, let's quickly tell our viewers that we've opened up our phone lines for them to call us. 0120-480-7273 is our number. Call us in and tell us whether you think that the president's son should resign for ridiculing women protesters. Clearly, his statement is not only sexist, but it looks like an attempt to discredit the protest that happened in Delhi after the incident of the gang rape. Let me go back to Arjun for a bit over there. Arjun, West Bengal is known for being liberal as a society. How are women in West Bengal, the regular women, the average woman, reacting to this statement?
Well, this is a kind of a shocker, I can tell you. I was speaking to a few of the intellectuals, some prominent citizens in Kolkata, and they don't expect this kind of a remark coming from Abhijit Mukherjee. To put things in perspective, before joining politics, the president's son, Mr. Abhijit Mukherjee, was involved with a high-profile job, and he's known to be a gentleman in his fraternity. So this kind of a remark coming from him is not going down well. People who know him say that this is probably the bankruptcy of the Congress is surfacing, and they are trying in all sorts of ways to somehow defend themselves, and this is how it has reflected through Abhijit Mukherjee's comments. But they don't believe that Abhijit Mukherjee can actually go on commenting in similar fashion, because he has not done in the past. But it's a huge shocker, and some of them have said that he needs to come out openly and sorry about it and regret.
All right.
Show some kind
Arjun,
of Arjun,
I'll have to interrupt you for a bit. We already have with us a caller, Anand from Hyderabad. Anand, go ahead. Do you think that Abhijit Mukherjee should resign for making this statement?
There's no other statement. He has to immediately resign from the post, whatever he's holding on. And I would like to make a simple comment, and coming from the son of a president. So you mean to say the even president and all the people who have entered into the protest are dented and painted? What does he mean about it? What is this Congress party trying to do to the nation? And just imagine, because of this protest by the students, this action has been taken by the UPA. There have been so many thousands of rapes in the country before this. Has anybody question, any politician come out? And Manish Tiwari comes and talks. What is happening? And especially last night when I was watching the Times Now, and the KTS Tulasi and Sanjay, what are they talking? The whole country is outraged with this, and yesterday night
Absolutely, Anand, we understand this outrage. At the moment, let's go across to Aishwarya, who's joining us from Nagpur. Aishwarya, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Aishwarya from Nagpur. I've been watching this television headlines today.
All right, Aishwarya, I'll have to interrupt you there for a bit because Hema Malini is on the phone line with us. Ma'am, how would you react to this statement made by Abhijit Mukherjee about the protests in Delhi?
This is unbelievable. Being a president's son, he cannot comment like this about a woman. First of all, he should learn to respect a woman. The way he has commented is atrocious.
Ma'am, do you expect an apology from him instantly?
Pardon me?
Ma'am, would you expect an apology from him and the party as well, the Congress party?
Yeah, they have to answer. This is not allowed like this. First of all, they should apology for saying something about a woman. He should know how to respect a woman. He has to be more responsible to talk anything such comments before he gives. He should know what he's talking. At the moment, the nation is facing such a horrible thing. Thing has happened in Delhi, and all the young students are protesting, and they are all wanting the justice. And how can he be so irresponsible and give such comments?
Ma'am, would you expect the Congress party to also take some action against Abhijit Mukherjee for his statements?
That I cannot say anything whether they should, but they have to at least come and talk and say something. Whatever what he has talked, it is not right. And none of them are coming out and speaking anything.
Hema Malini, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. We also have with us on the phone line Meenakshi Lekhi. Ma'am, what do you suppose the Congress party should be doing at the moment, taking strict action against Abhijit Mukherjee's rather sexist statements there?
You see, it's not just about being sexist, but it's also about the disconnect they have shown with the entire movement. These are youngsters, 18 to 20-year-old students from various colleges of Delhi, kids who have just got out of school, and they are asking for something what they feel. So there's a total disconnect with the Congress class of politicians. None of them was available to just listen to them. None of them was available to even treat them politely and kindly. We've seen how they have beaten up and further enraging the students by calling them dented, painted women who are protesters. So that means he's neither seen the protesters, nor has he been watching the television, nor has he chosen to meet anyone. There is complete disconnect with the people. And that disconnect and that apathy is writ large on the face of it, so far as the policies of the government are concerned, so far as the treatment with the protesters is concerned, so far as escalation to this extent, which was not supposed to be, they have made it. And they are just going on, and to further discredit the movement, they've had people from their political wing like NSUI, etc., acting out on the streets and engaging themselves with violence and beating up and further kind of burning the public property, etc. Because I have met those children. I was there amongst them, and I know. I mean, they're like my kids, well brought up, conducting themselves correctly, protesting, sitting down, only asking for things. They're not the violent rogue louts on the streets. And the rogue louts on the streets, we've seen how Congress tried to do it, because first day they bet up those children outside Sheila Dikshit's residence. Second day there was a similar repeat act. Third day again. Fourth day, I think they planted these people to engage and to show the bad visuals. And one TV channel on third day itself was running stories about the other political wings of the parties. So this is the manner in which Congress manages a few channels, and the Congress tries to discredit the protesters.
Ms. Lekhi had also
further speaking this language. Speaking this language is like adding fuel to the fire.
Ms. Lekhi, I'd also like you to comment on the mindset over here that is on display. He's also saying that these are women who go to discotheques. Now, what does it really, as a woman, tell you about the mindset of the society, of the males in the society, men in the society?
I want to tell him that this is a completely, a very silly statement. I think he probably doesn't know that his children themselves will be visiting the discotheques. And he probably doesn't know that women don't visit the discotheques by themselves, they visit the discotheques along with men. And just shows the mindset in which a person doesn't know what the youngsters are all about, and one could be dented and painted and yet be an activist. I mean, this is a nonsensical kind of statement, and just shows the gentleman doesn't know what's happening on the street, and doesn't know what this generation is all about.
Meenakshi Lekhi, many thanks for speaking with Headlines today. We have a caller now with us, Sadhna. Sadhna, go ahead, make your point over there. Do you think that the President's son should resign for ridiculing women in this way?
Absolutely, I fully support the earlier speakers. This Pranab Mukherjee's son should publicly apologize and should be aired in all television channels. It is an uncalled for statement, especially in a time when the nation is passing through such a tragic moment.
Uncalled for, ill-timed statement by Abhijit Mukherjee. Sheena from Bangalore is also on the phone line with us. Sheena, go ahead.
Listen, I have one point to make. I'm a student myself, and the upbringing in Indian society is such. If a guy is flirting with some 10 girls, he's called a stud, And if a girl is seen with one guy, she'll be branded a slut from the very next day. I think it's a sad, sad state of affairs. And this guy, he has only pointed out that the girls in the protest are going to discotheques, and that's why they have no right to go over there and protest. Who is he to tell us where and how to protest? And why isn't he pointing out what kind of men are taking part in the protest? Why is it only about the girls being dented and painted? Who is he to decide all this?
Well, absolutely, Sheena. We do understand the kind of outrage at the moment over the statement made by Abhijit Mukherjee in Birbhum about the protest and the kind of women who participated in the protest, discrediting the protest, also making a sexist remark there. Ruchika Tomar is still with us. Ruchika, there are demands now for action against Abhijit Mukherjee from his party, the Congress.
Well, absolutely, Maha. We'll have to wait and see first if there is any clarification that comes from Abhijit Mukherjee, the MP from Jangipur, and is also the son of the first citizen of this country, President Pranab Mukherjee. And don't forget, there were protesters who are marching up to Rashtrapati Bhavan, knocking on the doors of Rashtrapati Bhavan, seeking some sort of action or intervention by the president himself. And now we have President's son come out with this ridiculous statement, many even turning it as a misogynist rant. He's explicitly, in fact, said that these people, especially the women who are coming out and protesting, do not actually look like protesters. They're imposters. That's what he seems to be implying when he talks about dented, painted women who are pretending to be protesters. So clearly, there is no wriggling out for Abhijit Mukherjee from this, and demands, as you said, are already coming forth from opposition parties, from regional parties for Abhijit Mukherjee to not only express regret, also apologize, and in fact elaborate on what exactly he meant when he came out with a statement like that, because in a sense it betrays the mindset of the political class, who are supposedly going to amend laws, change laws, and bring about the change that we are seeking.
Dr. Charu is now calling us from Delhi. Dr. Charu, go ahead.
I am a medical student myself from Mumbai. I flew from Bombay to protest against the rape that has happened. It's a shameful incident, and I've been standing at India Gate and Safdarjung Hospital for the last 7 to 8 days. And after the girl has flew to Singapore last night, a sexist comment comes from the first-person son of this country, saying that we are not in sync with reality. This is a pink revolution, and the girls who go to discotheques are termed as available. It is a very callous comment, a very irresponsible comment, and this person should, if he's holding any position as an MP, we want an apology right now, or he should definitely step down instantly. And we want an apology from the Congress party members as well.
Royston is also calling us from Mumbai. Royston, is that the same way that you feel as well, that he should immediately apologize and the Congress party must take action against him?
See, what I would... Hello?
Royston, go ahead and turn down your television audio.
What I would like to say is... Hello?
All right, let me go back to Ruchika Tomar, who's standing by. Ruchika, also the crassness of the statement, really, if you could take us through that, of Abhijit Mukherjee saying that these are women who go to discotheques. Now, does it in many ways betray the way that the men in the society really think and categorize women?
Interesting you pointed that out, Maha, because each time we bring up the issue of rape or crime against women, our political class tells us that it isn't just a law and order issue. It isn't about effective policing that will solve this problem. It's also about changing that mindset, bringing about that societal change that's needed, because it is a bigger problem than just a law and order problem. But here you have somebody, as we've been saying it time and again, he's the president's son, and he's also the MP from one of the constituencies in West Bengal, who's coming out and explicitly saying that he doesn't think these protesters are serious. One, because they're wearing makeup perhaps, and also because they don't look like students. What? Is it only students who can protest? There can't be women who could feel absolutely infuriated by the apathy that we've seen from our political class, from the people who are supposed to protect us. And then a statement as callous as this is certainly going to invite all-round wrath, which Abhijit Mukherjee has to deal with. And he, of course, has to do a lot of explaining here. He, I believe, has tried to clarify at some fora the comments that he had made, and we are awaiting a word from him, because there is a now demand from MPs across party lines for Abhijit Mukherjee to come out and exactly explain what he meant by saying that these protesters look like imposters and this isn't a serious protest.
In fact, Ruchika, what is ironical is that President Pranab Mukherjee's daughter was one of the few who had made a statement a few days ago expressing her solidarity with the protesters and their cause, a complete contrast to her brother's views. Let's listen in to what she had to say.
It's not just a rape, but जिस brutality से victim को torture किया गया है, मतलब ये सबको हम सबको हिला के रखा है। अब हर रोज अखबार खोलो, कोई ना कोई रेप का इंसिडेंस, ये क्यों हो रहे हैं? और ये कैपिटल सिटी है, दिल्ली भारतवर्ष की राजधानी है, यहाँ भी वुमेन का कोई सेफ्टी नहीं है, तो फिर दूसरी जगह में हम क्या उम्मीद कर सकते हैं? तो ये आक्रोश जो है, मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत दिनों की जो अंदर की भड़ास है, वो उभर के आ रहे हैं।
Arjun Chatterjee, our correspondent, is joining us from Kolkata now. Arjun, I believe you had a chat with Abhijit Mukherjee. Did he sound apologetic at least?
Well, not exactly, when I asked him, why did you make such a comment? Because this is not expected of you. He said, media needs to put things in perspective. He was actually justifying what he had said. He said, I also have kids back at home. So, if they go to the discotheque and next morning if they go out for protests, I would not like it. I would like to have them certain principles and they should follow certain principles. He says that his statement has been taken out of context. But probably this goes on to show the bankruptcy of ideas among the Congress leaders, particularly him. And probably he did not expect that this will not go down well across political fraternity, not just across political fraternity, but across the entire nation. I was asking him because, it's known that Abhijit Mukherjee, before joining politics, he was with a corporate house, he was working there, a gentleman in every aspect, in the truest sense of the term, and he's not expected to make such comments. People who know Abhijit Mukherjee very closely, I was speaking to some of them also, and they said that, after joining politics, probably he has started thinking in a different way. But Abhijit Mukherjee categorically said that this is a statement which has been taken out of context.
Right.
And particularly the entire nation, the media, hyping it, because apart from being an elected representative, apart from being a Congress MP, I'm also the son of the president. So the media has got something big to hype on. He's blaming the media for this because of his callous comments. He is not sounding anywhere close to saying sorry. I asked him for a fresh soundbite.
Absolutely unconvincing defense that's coming from Abhijit Mukherjee, President Pranab Mukherjee's son. We are asking you, our viewers, to call in and express your views. What do you think of the statement that's come from President Mukherjee's son? We have Outrage joining us on the phone line from Mumbai. Outrage, have your say.
This particular gentleman, just because he thinks that he is the president's son, he could pass anything on the girls. Has he says that the girls are painted and dented. Has he taken a look at himself in the mirror? He looks drugged and he looks uneducated. And as Jesus has said, before you look at the beam in your neighbor's eye, look at it in your own eye. Thank you.
Well, point well made. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us from Mumbai. You too can call us. Our numbers flashing at the bottom of your screen. Join in, share your views. Arjun Chatterjee, my colleague, is with us from Kolkata. Arjun, we are still waiting to hear from Abhijit Mukherjee after his statement created such a massive furore. But I'd like to find out from you, considering the amount of focus that Congress has on Mamata Banerjee's government in West Bengal, as far as the issues of crimes against women in the state is concerned. We've seen Kolkata, the Park Street rape case and several other cases ridiculing the chief minister, putting her governance under question, saying it's the woman chief minister who's not being able to safeguard women in the state. This is going to blow up in Abhijit Mukherjee's face big time.
All right, we've lost our link with Arjun Chatterjee. We'll of course be going back to him. Let me put a question to Ruchika over there. Ruchika, in a situation like this, as the demands are coming from the BJP to take action against Abhijit Mukherjee, what do you suppose really the Congress is going to be put through in a situation like this? Huge embarrassment for them.
Doubt about that, Maha. Huge embarrassment, massive embarrassment, not just for the Congress, but also for President Pranab Mukherjee. He is the first citizen of the country and his son has come out with a statement as callous as that. But it's interesting to note what has just happened in the recent past. We did hear Sanjay Nirupam of the Congress made a derogatory remark against one of the BJP leaders, Smriti Irani, in fact. And we haven't seen any sort of action. We saw many of the Congress leaders trying to distance themselves from the statement that Sanjay Nirupam had made, but no disciplinary action whatsoever against Sanjay Nirupam. So will the Congress acknowledge it this time around, considering the environment, the growing pressure that has been on this government to take action as far as that rape case is concerned, and now such a remark, such a callous remark that's come from Abhijit Mukherjee? Congress is going to be under tremendous pressure to take some sort of disciplinary action at least against Abhijit Mukherjee.
Ruchika, stay on with us. RP Singh is calling us in. Mr. Singh, go ahead, have your say. Do you think that Abhijit Mukherjee should actually resign for putting out such a statement against women?
You know, for the last so many days we are watching the TV and we are seeing the reaction of the government. Maybe people should realize the insensitive government, and this is probably the last nail in the coffin. And my one-line solution will be, and suggestion will be, wait and show this government the door. They don't deserve to be in the power. That's all.
All right, let me go back to Arjun Chatterjee. Arjun, has there been any reaction so far from the Trinamool Congress?
Well, nothing official that has come out to us, but I was speaking to some of them, and you know, it's like a full toss ball from the Congress to them, and they're reacting very sharply. Some of the senior Trinamool Congress leaders are saying this is expected from the Congress leaders. It to show about the bankruptcy of ideas, political view within the Congress, and coming from the President's son himself, it goes to show how cornered the Congress is. I'm sure the Trinamool Congress and probably even the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee, will come out something very strongly, either as a soundbite or she can, as she does in recent times, she can post certain comments, strong comments on Facebook.
But Arjun, Mamata Banerjee herself has been under tremendous pressure about the law and order situation in her state, especially with regards to women's safety.
Well, absolutely, you know, Maha, we were talking about the Park Street rape incident, and I mean, taking the instance, the horrific instance that happened in Delhi, the Park Street rape victim is yet to get justice. It's almost a year now. The two accused are still absconding, and the Chief Minister and her Home Ministry is yet to take any action. So, across party lines, Mamata Banerjee has some strong questions to answer. In her own state, her law and order situation is not okay. So, but this is an opportune moment for the Trinamool Congress, because this is from a Congress MP who also happens to be the President's son, and just to shift the political focus from what has been happening in the state, has been happening, the deteriorating law and order situation. Mamata Banerjee presently had gone out and on a tour to the districts, talking about development and better law and order situation, more jobs, but effectively on the ground, that she is ineffective and that no proper action has been taken, that law and order situation has not been improved. Right. You know, this is an opportune moment to shift focus from that, and the Trinamool Congress leaders, I'm sure, will be coming out with strong reactions, strong comments against the Congress. This is also a chance to corner the Congress once again, because now they are no more within the UP, and Mamata Banerjee and her party is leaving no chance to corner the Congress. So now, coming from a reaction from Abhijit Mukherjee, I think definitely the senior Trinamool Congress leadership is going to hit back.
All right, Arjun, stay on with us. We have a caller. Abhishek from Mumbai is calling. Abhishek, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, Abhishek, go on.
Yeah, I just want to say, people who attempt rape or do eve teasing have a mentality like girls who go to clubs and wear short skirts or short costume like that are bad, and we can do whatever we think. We can misbehave with them. Or a similar statement has been made by I think Abhijit Mukherjee, the woman who are protesting there goes to club and all that shit. So what kind of mentality he has? And about the fame thing, I want to say they were there to achieve something. They were working hard to achieve something. And you made that statement. Okay, you made this kind of statement just for some fame. This kind of mentality doesn't make us human. Okay. This is
all right, Abhishek, thanks for your views on that. Absolutely shocking statement, sexist statement there from Abhijit Mukherjee that has now created an uproar. Kiran Bedi is joining us. Ma'am, first of all, an apology expected in order from Abhijit Mukherjee immediately?
I have no doubt that he will come to a stage where he will regret it and he will have to apologize because he's made a very, very wrong statement. I think he is far, far away from reality. I don't know where he's living. I think he could have stood up to respect the youth, the young boys and girls, the way they've stood up to and emerging as the new generation of leadership in India. Doesn't he know India is heading for becoming the world's largest youth power? And this was genuine youth power, genuinely. I think he's going to rue it and he's going to regret the statement. He'll be probably compelled to do it.
And with the pressure coming in from the opposition, perhaps some sort of action also could be expected from the Congress party. Many thanks, Kiran Bedi, for speaking with Headlines today. Also thanks to Arjun Chatterjee and Ruchika Tomar for joining us with more details. People are shocked and outraged at the statement made by Abhijit Mukherjee, saying that dented, painted women joined the protest in Delhi for their 2 minutes of fame. Reactions coming in.